This is a hero's journey, my hero's journey. In fact, I'll be talking about my life and how it correlates to the hero's journey. I will be starting off in when I was living in California. So let's get started. Oh, messed up there. So, my common world. What is my common world? Well, I was born in Burbank, California, with two parents and an older brother. This is just little me, good old little me on a nice and rocky road. Not knowing that my life would be a rocky road in itself. Good old little me. I was just a small little kid, wasn't really big. Both my parents are really small also. I was very careless. I didn't have any worries, I didn't have anything. And so I was just living, and I was born in Burbank, California. I hope to go back there soon. Start off with my call to adventure. My call to adventure becomes when I moved to Oregon, when I was about 4 years old. I ended up going to Hazeldale Elementary School. Go Hawks. Hazeldale was my first elementary school I went to. And I didn't know what to think of it. So, one day I just woke up, and the way I think about it is I just think like my mom just told me, hey, or my dad told me, hey, by the way, you're gonna go to school. And I was like, okay. I didn't really know how to take it because school was just something that only my brother went to, and because my brother was older than me, he's older than me, about 3 to 4 years older. So, that was very interesting. This correlates to my call to adventure because this is first when I start to really get into learning about what school is, and my parents told me you gotta go to school. So that's kind of like my call. That was the call to adventure from my parents. This is just a drawing of a little school classroom with the teacher. Sorry for my drawing skills. I'm not the best, but there you go. We're going to be crossing the first threshold now. When I cross the first threshold, sorry, I can't really talk today. But crossing the first threshold means that I was I was about to go to school, and so I drew this bus. I lived off of Murphy Street over in Aloha, Oregon. And that's actually where I met my best friend. We actually go to school together now. It's really awesome. We actually have the same birthday as well. So it's very interesting to have met him on the first day of school, and it just so happens to be that he has the same birthday as me, and we actually became really good friends. Now we're going to get into the next phase, the phase that is called the belly of the whale. The belly of the whale consists of, now we're actually now we're into the adventure. We got head first, we're fully submerged, got your hair wet kind of a deal. I did that in middle school. While I was in middle school, there's me. And then there's this new girl. We were together for quite a long time. We met in about 7th grade, and we started to, be together, like a boyfriend-girlfriend kind of a deal. Just a little middle school crush. And we were together for about 2 years. Just about 2.5 years. It was really cute and stuff. But, she was the new girl. She just moved to Hillsboro from Gaston. She was just a little country girl. It was kind of cool. That's how I become really like in the belly of the whale. I go to South Meadows Middle School, the middle school over in Hillsboro. It's really interesting. Because I lived in Hillsboro at that time. South Meadows Middle School, SMMS. South Meadows was an interesting time in my life. They had a wrestling program there. I've already been in wrestling for about 6 years, and when I went to South Meadows for their wrestling program, I actually became the team captain for the program. I was team captain for about 2 years, 7th and 8th grade year. It was quite an interesting time. Now we're going to talk about my road to trials. My road to trials didn't happen just after the belly of the whale, but it actually happened before, during, and after. So in 3rd grade, my father got a job in Arizona, and so my whole family moved to Arizona. It was a trial because no one really liked it except for my brother. For me, I didn't make friends. I was really alone. I even had rocks with my friends. Next was my dad was arrested in Arizona on my birthday. It was I was in 3rd grade, so I wanted to say 11th birthday, and it was really sad because I actually came home from school, and that day of school was actually not that bad, and I come home and my father's intoxicated, and he ends up getting into a crash, and and he gets arrested on my birthday. Next is I moved back to Oregon in 5th grade. When I moved back to Oregon, it was a trial because it gave us 30 days to move back to Oregon and to get reestablished. And anyone who knows anything that when moving a whole house of 4 in 30 days is quite challenging. Wrestling itself has always been a challenge. My body, the ligaments in my body, especially my knees, haven't been the best. I've had many injuries to my knees, and I even had to have surgery in my junior year summer, so that was kind of crazy. But yes, next is my girlfriend. Not only my girlfriend, but my girlfriend broke up with me. My parents actually split up. My dad was drinking, and my dog that I loved actually got given away because I went camping. My dog was all sad and he was crying, and my dad and my dad gave him to my mom, who was living at a different house, and my mom gave him away. It was one of the only great things in my life at that time, and she gave him away, and it was really, really sad. So those are just some of the trials, and that's happened all the way towards, even at the, towards the end. And that's not even when, not even counting my senior year, which I've had quite a few trials. Temptation. The greatest temptation, and I won't write it on here, but the greatest temptation was I tried committing suicide several times. I deal with depression and anger and sadness a lot, and I was tempted to commit suicide several times. Thankfully, I didn't die, but now I know that I have something to live for, and I have a greater purpose. Next is apostasis, or apostasis. I don't exactly know how to say it, but clearly I don't know how to write it fully either. But apostasis, when someone who is very important in your journey passes away, and that was my grandfather. My grandfather meant a lot to me, and he passed away, and that could also be a part of my trials. He was very loving and very kind and very smart, and also extremely funny. He was definitely the patriarch of the family, and definitely a person to be very excited for. Next is the ultimate boom. This is when things start to get lighter again, and that's graduation. I got graduation on Sunday, June 5th. That was extremely fun. It will be extremely exciting. I don't seem to, personally, I don't seem to see that graduation is exciting, but maybe that's when I get closer and hopefully I pass all my classes. I don't really have a refusal to return because, well, I actually, high school wasn't the best time of my life, and I'm just ready for it to be done with. Rescue from Without, that's actually leaving. And Rescue from Without is leaving high school, leaving graduation, and saying goodbye to everyone, and, getting done with school. So here's just some people with their caps and gowns, drawing some eyeballs. Sorry for the horrible drawing and writing. I'm not the best at it. But yeah, here we go. And we're just see it as just a little bit of fun. And that's all of us with our caps. And I don't know if this is tradition. I always see it in movies, and where we just throw our caps and gowns, or throw our caps, keep our gowns on, throw our caps in the air, and have a good old time. Yeah. The rescue from without is having to leave with the ultimate boon, with the prize, and the prize is graduation, is our education, where everyone says that they need it, and so now that I have it and I rescue from without, the crossing the final threshold. Crossing the final threshold is going back to the common world, going back to the world in which you used to live in, and that common world is life. It's going back to life, and we see that crossing the final threshold is actually leaving the graduation itself and not coming back. High school itself has been an interesting time. Had goods and bads, ups and downs. I've had surgery, I've had good things happen to me, I've had quite a few bad things. Some of the goods is I can walk, I can breathe, I have a job, I have a license, I have an education. Some of the bads is, I had surgery, my house got taken away, several things. And as you see, now I'm going to the Master of Two Worlds. The Master of Two Worlds is achieving a balance between both worlds, the common world and the adventurous world, I like to call it. And that's being able to have an education and work a job, and even getting better at that job at times. Lastly is the freedom to live. And I'm almost done here, so I'm just going to wrap it up. The freedom to live is becoming really old and being able to retire. Let's just see how I draw this out. Sorry for the inconvenience of noise. I don't quite know who or what that is, so let's see. So 65 years later, I will be retired, happy, and possibly able to die. That is, that's my freedom to live. The end. Bye-bye.